Good morning, everyone. I hope that you are having a great day. I feel like it's been forever since I've been on here, but it's just been a couple of weeks. But today I wanted to take a little bit longer moment than I have in the last couple of weeks. It's been a little crazy around here, and just really start to dive into a really important topic, which is what to do and how to deal with disappointments in our relationships. And the more I work with people, the more I'm finding that this is a huge source of struggle for them. And so many people come in with anxiety, depression, and really a lot of the underlying struggles deal with relationships. And so today is just going to be the start of a conversation around this. I have some other blog posts that I want to include as well. But today I just kind of started at the surface of just talking about relational disappointments and how we can start to think about them a little bit differently. And like I said, this is a tough but important topic. And because I know it's so important to so many of my clients, I'm sure it is important to many of you as well. I did just want to cover as well that I know that relationships are a source of deep hurt for a lot of you. And I see that and I hear that. And as far as today's blog is concerned, which you can get to it by clicking on the link in the header, I am just talking about general disappointment in relationships. I am not talking specifically about abuse. That is a whole nother topic that I'm not talking about here. This is not an excuse for abuse. And if you want more information on that, or really how to decipher between disappointment and abuse, there is a book that I've been looking into a lot and reading called The Emotionally Destructive Marriage. It's talking specifically about marriage, but it talks about relationships, and that can help you or a loved one decipher between those. So just about disappointment in relationships, you can click on the link in the header to get the blog. And I'll just cover a couple of things here. One is that we can't control other people. We can only control ourselves, unfortunately. So a lot of what this blog talks about is how we can start to look at ourselves and see how we can contribute in a positive way to our relationships and how we may have been contributing to them in a way that's not helpful. So the blog really covers a lot of questions that you can ask yourself and start to look internally of how you can contribute to these relationships in a more positive way. And I know that sounds hard because we want the answer to be about the other person. And I know that it's going to take effort and it's going to be hard to look internally at ourselves. But what if it was worth it? What if you saw differences in your relationships because of small changes that you were making yourself? For example, asking yourself if you're speaking your needs. A lot of times people find themselves disappointed because someone isn't doing something for them, but maybe this is a need that you have never voiced before. And maybe the other person never even recognized that this was a need that you had. And so how might your relationship be different if you opened up those lines of communication and spoke those needs? And I go into a lot more depth in the blog about that. And also just to note that again, I don't want to sound harsh with these questions because a lot of them are looking internally. But at this point in most relationships, that's all that we can do is to start to look at ourselves. And we'll talk more about how to love someone if you're in a disappointing relationship. So a more like a family relationship or a spouse relationship. We'll talk more about that another week. So I would love to hear your thoughts. You can private message me if you don't want to put those out here in the public, or share this blog with maybe someone that needs to hear this, someone that finds themselves frequently disappointed in relationships. And I hope you'll share it with someone, and I hope that you guys have a great day, and we'll see you next week.